Now, with the Ghana cedi continuing to gain strength against major trading currencies, Ghanaians are expecting the price of goods and services will reflect the new change. One of the major commodities that people expect change in its prices is the price of fuel. My colleague Papani Ashali has been visiting some stations and joins us live with some update there. Michael, you've been to some stations. Let us know what you have. Okay, so we'll try and get Papani, who is storing some fuel stations now, to try and bring us an update as to how the filling stations are responding to the strengthening of the Ghana cedi. We'll get him shortly so that we can really understand what's happening. But in a related development, Abossey Okai Spare Parts Dealers Association is dismissing claims by the Ghana Private Road Transport Union that the high price of spare parts is the reason they are unable to reduce transport fares despite a reduction in fuel prices. The association says members reduced the price of spare parts since November to help customers service their vehicles ahead of the festive holidays. Speaking on the Pulse on Joy News, chairman of Abossey Okai Spare Parts Dealers Association, Clement Boateng, said it's bad faith on the part of the transport operators to be exploiting commuters.
Randy of GPRTU, whenever there is the need for them to reduce transport fares. It is true that for some time now, because of the free fall of our cedi, there has been an increase in fuel prices, and so therefore there was the need for them to also adjust their prices so that they could also stay in business. But the situation that we currently find ourselves, does not call for that. We are all of the view that the cedi has, started gaining some strength, and as citizens, the onus does not lie on government alone, for the rebuilding of the country. As citizens, we also have a part, to play. Building of a country is not the solely responsibility of the government. We as citizens also has a part to play. So if at a point in time our cedi has started gaining some appreciation, the onus lies on the business community. But currently, Bank of Ghana rate is about 10 cedis, 38 or 39 pesos, thereabouts, and it continues to gain stability. So therefore, if fuel prices have been reduced, and then the onus lies on you to also adjust your prices, you are then shifting,
Now, Head of Communications of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, Abasi Moro, joins us for a further discussion on this. Grateful to you that you could join us. Why are we not seeing a reduction in transport fares when we are seeing reduction in the price of fuel? I mean, at least before the current one, there have been some reductions in the past.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Moro. Can you hear me?
Kindly increase the volume a bit for me.
Okay. Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm asking, why are we not seeing any reduction in transport fares when fuel prices have been going down?
Yes, and good morning to all viewers. When our health was declining, we researched deep into our business to find out what exactly is the problem. It was then that we realized fuel percentages is much higher than the lorry fare increases that we match with. It doesn't even tally at all, meaning there is a big deficit between the fuel increment and the lorry fares that we want to take. We have put that aside, and yesterday, yes, there was a marathon meeting between the Transport Ministry and transport operators. Finally, we agreed to reduce something from the lorry fares. But by then, we were being made aware that today there will be further reduction on fuel. So we said, yes, let's wait to see the percentages on today's reduction. Then we will also see how much we can also reduce the percentage that we can take off from the lorry fare. And by then, we made them to understand that if we are able to do that, we will come out with a communique which will take effect from Monday. That whatever percentages are told that we agreed to take off today, it will take effect from Monday. So finally, we agreed to reduce something from the lorry fare.
How much did you agree to remove from the fares now?
Yesterday, we couldn't tell because we were waiting to see that of today's fuel reduction. We are meeting today, and whatever decision we take, we'll come out with a communique, so everybody will know the percentage that we have to take off.
So we can expect that by Monday, a reduction in transport fares would have been effected.
That's exactly what we said and what we are going to do.
Okay, grateful. Thank you so much, Mr. Moro, for joining
Always
us.
welcome.
My colleague Papani Ashale has been visiting some stations and joins us live with some update from the fuel stations. Papani, you've been visiting the stations. What can you report?
Come here.
Fuel stations are responding to the reduction or the strength being gained by the Ghana cedi, as well as the reduction of price of crude on the international market. What can you report for us from your runs that you've made?
Just about a month ago, fuel, especially for petrol, was selling for more than...
Papani, if you can hear me now, what can you tell us about what you found out from the fuel stations?
Ghana cedis more is selling around 13 cedis and 40 pesos per litre on every petrol that you buy. That's incredibly an incredible drop for prices of petrol. Yeah, we are currently here to ask the drivers what they make of this particular drop in prices of fuel. And then for passengers who we know already have been agitating for months for a reduction in transport fares. Many of them have had to bear the brunt.
Apologies for the very bad feed there. We'll go back to him when we have a better feed. But let's speak to the CEO of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Ghana, Duncan Amwa, who's just joined us. So grateful that you could join us. Does the new reduction correspond with the new changes in terms of pricing on the world market, or it should be further than this?
Let me state it could go further than this. What is happening with the current reduction numbers is that Bank of Ghana did an auction of forex to the importers or BDCs a week ago. And the rate that Bank of Ghana gave them as of the time was around 13 Ghana 80 pesos to $1 exchange. Mind you, those monies that were auctioned will be available after some days to the BDCs. Meanwhile, if the BDCs were out there today sourcing for probably the dollar at prevailing rate, they could get it much lower. But per the auctions done earlier, rates are so high within the BDC space. And that is why oftentimes you would have had, the 1 liter to $1 unpronounced rule prevail. As we speak, the dollar is hovering around 10 cedis exchange to $1. And so it could have come down a little more, but then again, a few dynamics come to play. That said, what we are seeing right now with the OMC is a bit encouraging, especially when you had, petrol as of yesterday selling at 15 Cedi 41 across the major pumps, and today at 13.40.
Yeah.
That means that a little over 2 Ghana cedi reduction has been achieved within this window. Again, diesel that used to be around 18.89 is currently at 16.5 thereabout. That's also a little over 2 Ghana cedis achieved. With these numbers together, clearly, if you buy a gallon now, you are simply going to save close to 9-10 Ghana cedis, depending on the OMC you buy from for every gallon. That could be some savings for Ghanaian consumers for the Ulitide. And I am happy if I listen to your earlier inset where transport operators are finally coming to the table that they indeed would need to pass on these reductions that we're seeing at the pumps to the commuting public who probably will be traveling across the length and breadth of the country this coming Ulitide. And we are happy on those two counts, that pump prices indeed have declined as is expected. The GPRTU and other transport operators are equally going to ensure that the kind of reductions that we've seen for diesel that used to officially trade at 23 Ghana cedi 42 pesos, 43 pesos, just some 6 weeks ago, and currently hovering around 16. 23 to 16 is a whopping 7 Ghana cedi per liter variance. And so we are happy that now they are, revising their stance. They are agreeing with the wider public and civil society actors who believe they need to pass on these reductions by way of reducing transport fares. And those two for us should cap the week for us.
Okay. This morning, the BOG has released an exchange rate which is around 7.8, 7.9. When from today are we likely to see a further decline in the price of fuel?
So the next auction date, which is probably going to be the end of the month, for BOG, if that is the rate they quote for BDCs, I can foresee probably the first window, January, come with, further reductions in pump prices, because the Forex is one of the main drivers of fuel pricing across pumps. And like I indicated, the very last Forex auction they did with the BDC, it was hovering around 13. And if today the same BOG has a rate that is probably hovering around 8-7 Ghana cedi exchange to the dollar, we could be seeing prices drop probably before the end of the year, and then the earlier part of January could also see further reductions. We are hoping that we could go below the 10 Ghana cedi per liter mark sometime soon, so that the boiling market could actually get some cooling.
All right. So you mentioned 10. Is that how much we expect to buy fuel probably in January?
It wouldn't be far from, an expectation. Like I indicated, the 1 cedi, the 1 liter, $1 rule is unspoken on set, but it's what is prevailed if you take the start of this year, 2022. A liter averaged about 6.5 Ghana cedis for a liter. The dollar was exchanging for 6.5 Ghana cedi to a dollar. And so the 1 liter, $1 rule seemed to hold sway in most cases. However, throughout 2022, because of the Russia-Ukraine bit, you saw prices of the product in metric tons move from the $600 per metric ton region to about 1,000, 1,200 for both petrol and diesel. As we speak, petrol is hovering around 730 per metric ton, which is about $130 more to the start of the year. Diesel is hovering around 800, which is about $200 more, from the start of the year. If the international market prices were to decline any further, the caveat, if the cedi was to probably end the year around 7 Ghana cedi exchange to the dollar, then you could expect petrol to drop way below the 10 Ghana cedi per litre mark. But those are the ifs. The cedi should, as per the Bank of Ghana rates published today, do around 7 Ghana cedis. If international benchmarks should decline by another $40, $50 or $100 a metric ton, then there will be no justification whatsoever for petrol selling anywhere above 10 Ghana cedis at the start of January. So it's possible that the first window January, we could see further cuts in fuel prices across bonds.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. That's Duncan Amohi, CEO for the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers. Now.